Hi friends, I wonder if I'm the only one who feels like the world's gone completely mad. Scientists from the prestigious and therefore not exactly cheap Mayo Clinic in the United States decided that humanity hasn't suffered enough from the illusion of eternal youth and announced that they had managed to slow down and in some cases even slightly reverse the aging process. For mice only so far. Mice, of course, are thrilled. Wrinkles smoothed out, muscles stayed firm, cataracts disappeared, unfortunately only for mice. For humans, it's still about buying gold-infused creams and drinking spinach smoothies. Commentators are already calling this another step towards immortality. Well, yes, a step for lab rodents. That's easy enough for them. Humanity once again is being asked to believe in miracle pills that will cancel all age, the laws of biology, and common sense all at once. The essence of the discovery, scientists found senescent cells that the body inconveniently forgets to clean up. These cells just sit there, releasing nasties and triggering aging. So they took some mice, switch off a gene called P16INK4A, apparently in humans that switch is hidden somewhere deep inside, and voila, shiny fur, strong muscles, cataracts gone. However, there's only one tiny detail. The mice didn't actually live longer. Oh well, minor issue. Eh? At least they looked good. You could say this isn't research about longevity, but about how to age gracefully without completely falling apart. Scientists, of course, hope that in future this will radically change the approach of treating age-related diseases. But we know how it will go. Pills priced like a brand new Mercedes, queues of desperate millionaires, and headlines like aging defeated just as soon as mice learned to write press releases. Men, as it turns out, not only love to take risks, but do so with such genius that they win the Darwin Award more often than women. Let's recall, this honorary award has been given out for more than 20 years to the most talented idiots who managed to die in an especially inventive way, thereby making a priceless contribution to improving the human gene pool. A classic example, a terrorist who sent a letter bomb and forgot to put a stamp on it. The post office, of course, returned the envelope to the sender, and he, without straining his thought process too much, opened his own package. Boom! The idiot gone. One more piece of proof for the male idiocy theory. Scientists from Britain, with a straight face, analyzed the Darwin Award database over 20 years. Of 332 awardees, 318 passed verification and only 36 of them turned out to be women. The remaining 282 men. As they say, less brain, more testosterone. And yes, the statistics confirm it. Men more often end up in emergency rooms, die more frequently in car accidents, and throw themselves into extreme sports and dubious adventures with far greater enthusiasm. But honestly, even sports and cars sometimes pale in comparison to the new ways men manage to demonstrate to the world that common sense is clearly not their strong suit. So thank you, gentlemen. While women choose life and long-term relationships, you continue to decorate humanity with your spectacular stupidity. Someone has to protect evolution from unnecessary junk. By no means do I wish to appear as an apologist for gender discrimination. I am merely presenting in this video the facts and outcomes presented and analyzed by scientists. The American railgun is that kind of wonder weapon of the future that has been absorbing millions of dollars for more than a decade and proudly declares, "We've fired 1,000 shots." The problems are, after just a few shots, the barrel turns into a disposable spare part. The device takes up half of a ship, and each round requires so much energy that it would be easier to build a separate power plant. But who pays attention to such details when you can cheerfully report a breakthrough? The 1,000th shot in October 2011 was hailed as a success, although actual combat deployment of this contraption is still as far away as walking to the moon. Since 2007, engineers have been playing a kind of Lego, swapping rails, remelting alloys, testing which metal lasts long under extreme heat before it burns out completely. And all this just so that one day, maybe in 30 years, the gun could be mounted on the Zumba destroyer, which itself still looks more like an exhibition model than a functioning warship. On paper, of course, it all looks impressive. Kinetic projectiles, trajectory correction from 6 to 10 rounds per minute. But in reality, low accuracy, colossal energy consumption, and a machine the size of a house. Still, why get into details? It sounds cool, an electromagnetic gun, almost like in Star Wars. So while the weapon of the future shows wonders in laboratories, engineers keep reinventing the wheel, and taxpayers fondly finance this costly game of science fiction. For some reasons, all of this reminds me of the process of creating there is no analogy type weapon in one Z country, which is currently trying to destroy its neighbor. And I have a feeling that the Americans will end up with the same result as that Z country. I mean, just wasted billions of dollars. Fatal familial insomnia is an extremely rare genetic disease found in only a few dozen families worldwide. It manifests in adulthood, most often after age of 50, and develops gradually, affecting a person's sleep and overall condition. The main difficulty of the disease is that ordinary sleeping pills do not help, and the person faces increasingly severe sleep disturbances. In the early stages, anxiety and night terror appears. Later, hallucinations and physical discomfort. Over time, sleep becomes shorter and less frequent, and this affects the functioning of the whole body. The cause of this disease is a specific mutation in a gene called PRNP. Because of it, one protein changes its structure and begins to behave aggressively, damaging the functioning of vital area of the brain, the thalamus, which regulates sleep, emotions, and many motor functions. The disease is inherited. If one parent is affected, then the child's probability is 50%. Men and women are equally susceptible. For now, medicine considers the disease incurable. And yet, there is an important hope in this story. Each new study helps doctors gain a deeper understanding of the nature of sleep and how the brain works. The knowledge already saves the way toward possible treatment. Scientists' discoveries made through the study of this disease may one day help not only those facing fatal insomnia, but also millions of people worldwide suffering from other sleep disorders and brain diseases. Therefore, despite of severity of the diagnosis, science itself is moving forward step by step, and each step is a chance that in the future there will be new ways to help people return to their sleep health and more peaceful years with their loved one. What do you think about it? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, my friends. Share them down in the comments. I'll be reading them all.